Right, hi everyone, and welcome to Warren's Team Talk. I hope you're all really well and having a great day. Today I've been wanting to do this since I heard the news the other day that Mikel Arteta has been offered and it's being alleged that Mikel Arteta will be offered a new contract by Arsenal Football Club. But I've put off doing it because I wanted to compile all my evidence before I did it. So that's what I've done. I spent the last few days doing that. So we're going to talk about that this afternoon and discuss the pros and the cons and everything else. And let's see what happens. So Dan Evans is in the chat. Hi, Dan. Nice to see you. Thanks very much for coming in. Feel nice to be here from the start. Laugh out loud. How you doing, Warren? I'm good. Yeah, my favourite subject. We're going to talk about Mikel Arteta this afternoon, and the news that it's alleged that he's going to be offered a new contract. Because I have to be honest, mate, I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. But yeah. Anyway, so. I hope everyone's well. I hope that you're going to find this interesting. I might get a bit heated during the course of this video, but it's about something I feel very passionate about. So I am going to get heated, especially when I don't think it's I don't think it's a smart move. I really don't. Anyway, so. Before we get started, please put a like on the video. Please try and share the video around with as many different people as you can. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'd really appreciate that. It'd be really, really helpful. So Dan says, this sounds like it will be fun. Mate, I'm not sure it's going to be fun for me, but I'm sure it will be for those of you who are watching, because I think I'm going to lose it. I really do, because I just can't believe what they're doing. I just don't understand it. Right. So let's get into it. So it was alleged that Arsenal are going to offer Mikel Arteta a new contract. Now, if you see me looking away from the screen, it's because I've got a big pad of notes here that I want to refer to in case I forget anything that I want to say or talk about. So please bear with me if I do that. I hope it doesn't spoil the video for you. But I have to do it because my memory is shocking. It really is. It's nearly as shocking as Mikel Arteta's management skills. But there you go. Yeah, so it's been alleged that Mikel Arteta, Arsenal are going to offer him a new 2-year extension to his current deal, because apparently they're scared that Manchester City are going to try and poach him, because the feeling is, well, if you believe the stories that have been coming out, that the feeling is that Pep Guardiola, when his contract expires, is going to retire or want a new challenge, and they're eyeing up Mikel Arteta to replace him. Sorry, guys, I just think that's a lot of old baloney. I really do. Why the hell would they want Mikel Arteta? Now, by the time you have finished watching this video, you're going to understand why I think it's a lot of baloney. All right? So let's have a look. Let's go back to the very start, December 2019, when he was put in post. And for me, these were the reasons why he should have been appointed. Absolutely none. There were no good reasons, in my opinion, about why he should have been given the job, right? He had no experience. He'd never managed a football club before. So what the hell were they thinking of? I mean, what Now, let's not forget Arsenal Football Club. It's the third biggest football club in the country. All right. It's also a multinational, multi-billion-pound business. What other organisation that is the third best in its industry, which is a multinational, multi-billion-pound company, would employ a novice in order to run it? It just would not happen. It is insane. I just can't believe that they're going to do this. It is insanity, right? Why? What would NatWest do this? No. Would Sainsbury's do this? No. And they're not even multinational companies. Well, I think NatWest might be, but Sainsbury's certainly ain't. Spotify, would they do it? Probably not. No. Well, I know they wouldn't, because then they're not as mad as what Arsenal are. I just don't understand it. I really don't. It is insane, right? So I think there's another chat just come in. So let's see who that is. Dan says, would Man City want him? He seems bad. Well, no, that's what I think. I just don't believe that they do. I just think it's PR from Arsenal Football Club to get fans on side, because they're going to think, well, if Man City want him, he must be good. Yeah, we've got another Bulgarian or Russian person in the chat. I'm sorry, beep, beep. I don't understand what that means. If you can try and put that chat or comment in English, I will try to answer you, because I honestly don't understand it, my friend. And who owns Arsenal? Is it a company or just a person? It is owned by a chap by the name of Stan Kroenke, who heads up a company called Kroenke Sports Entertainment, I think it's called, he calls it. But in reality, we believe, Arsenal supporters believe, it's owned by his son, Josh Kroenke. But yeah, it's owned by an individual, but he owns a number of sports franchises, mostly in the United States, and also Arsenal Football Club. Now, the thing is, as well, it has to be said, the rest of these sports franchises in the United States are bang average. None of them are performing well. None of them are competitive. So for me, it's no surprise that we are going down the same route. Okay, so beep beep's coming again, and yeah, sorry, beep beep. I don't speak that language, unfortunately. I'm really sorry. If you can put it in English, then I will try and answer your comment and read it. I can't even read it, let alone understand it. So I'm really sorry. So that was the reasons I believe that he should have been appointed. There are none. It just doesn't make any sense. I do not understand it. And I don't understand why anyone would have wanted him, because what point of reference have you got? If he's not done the job before, how can you say that you would want him to be the manager? Now, I've heard people say, well, one person in particular, when I questioned them about this, and it was very difficult to get a straight answer out of this person. When they were questioned, they said, oh, I wanted him because we'd had all these experienced managers before and it hadn't worked, and I just wanted a restart and do something different and try something new. So that was why they thought it'd be a good idea, right? Which I found a bit bizarre, to be quite honest. But still, if that's what they wanted, then that's what they got, and now we're reaping the damage. So the next question would be, why should he be given? Oh, and the other reason that I was given was because he sat next to Pep. He sat next to Pep Guardiola, therefore he's going to be great too. What a load of utter rubbish. Now, let me ask you this, right? Whoever's watching this, let me ask you this question. If you or I went and sat next to a brain surgeon, let's say, for 2 years and watched everything they did, does that immediately mean that we're going to be a great brain surgeon as well? No, of course it doesn't, because you have to do professional training to do that job. And you've had no experience of doing it. So no. Right? So, yeah, exactly. So what are the reasons that Mikel Arteta should be offered a new contract? For me, there are none, because it's been an absolute disaster from the moment he was appointed. So I'm sorry, but I don't think it would be an appropriate thing to do, and I think it would be absolutely crazy. Again, this beep person, I'm sorry, my friend. I keep telling you, I can't read that language. I don't speak it. I don't understand it. If you want me to answer your comment or read your comment, please put it in English, and I'll be more than happy to answer it or to read your comment. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to answer it. And Dan says, I feel like Arsenal fans feels a bit like County. Shit management. Yeah, man, it is. And it's from the top to the... It runs right through the club. It ain't just the manager, because Mikel Arteta did not appoint himself. He was appointed by Stan Kroenke. Therefore, there's a problem there as well, because if he thinks that he's the right man to lead the club forward, that is a problem, because it obviously means he doesn't understand what it takes to be a successful football manager. All right? I don't believe that any of these other sport franchises are doing particularly well, and that tells you its own story. So the thing is, as well, what we have to remember is that when Stan Kroenke bought complete control, well, when he came into Arsenal and bought into the club, he went on record as saying, look, I didn't buy into Arsenal Football Club to win trophies. So my question would be, so what the hell did you buy into it for? What were you hoping to achieve? I think he was doing it to make money. He believed that a European Super League would come along and he'd make bucket loads of money from that. And he probably would have, if it had come in, he would have made bucket loads of money. And beep, Russian speak. Sorry, my friend, beep. I can't speak Russian. I really don't understand what that... I don't understand what you want me to say, but I can't speak Russian, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I wish I could, so that I could talk to you, but unfortunately I can't. But thank you very much for your comment, and thanks for coming into the chat. Most people now in the Prem are just in it for the money now, which is sad, says Dan. And that's true. It is very true. And that is, I believe, is why that Super League thing eventually will happen. I do believe it will, sadly. And because it's been about money from day one, and it's going to continue in that vein, I believe. Right. So if he's going to be offered a new contract, what are the targets that are attached to his contract? Or to use management speak, key performance indicators, right? What are they? Because when Edu was questioned about this, right, about where he thought Arsenal could finish in the Premier League this season, he didn't want to give an answer, right? So he said that it's alleged that Edu said that there were no targets, but he didn't actually say that. He actually said that he didn't. It was worse. What he actually said was worse. But just to go back to this, a lot of people think that Mikel Arteta should stay in the job because he's got good hair and he's got good drip, i.e. that he dresses well. Now, I'm sorry, and that he's the best looking Spaniard that we know. My question to that is, what the hell does someone's looks, someone's hair, and the way that they dress have got with their ability? What has it got to do with their ability to manage a football club effectively? It is absolute madness. It is madness, and it just sums up the madness that a lot of these Arsenal supporters have about this manager. It just doesn't add up. It is madness. Right. So, yeah, Edu. Now, there is a big problem at Arsenal because Edu is in the role which is above Mikel Arteta. He has no experience. Well, he was involved with the Brazilian Football Association, but he's never been in the role that he's in now in a club. So he's learning on the job as well. Mikel Arteta is learning on the job. The chief exec of the football club, Vinay, I don't even know what his surname is. He's got no experience in the job, right? And then we got this Richard Garlick or whatever his name is, or as I prefer to call him, Big Dick, right? He has got limited experience as well, and has certainly got no affiliation with Arsenal Football Club. The whole bloody lot of them need to go. They really do. They need to be sacked, all of them. If I had the power, would bring back David Dean. I know a lot of fans are not going to be happy to hear me say that because he sold his shares to Stan Kroenke, but I would get him back because I know he's got feelings for the club. I know he loves the club deep down, and I'd like him to do a root and branch investigation of the club, see where the problems are, and then put in an action plan in place for improvement. So I can see there's another chat in here. Okay. Beat wants to know who Mikel Arteta is. Right. So Beat, Mikel Arteta is the manager of Arsenal Football Club. And he has, for the last 2 years, been the manager of the football club and he's failed really badly in his role. And if you watch the rest of this video, you're going to see what I say about why I believe that. So I hope that answers your question. Dan says, I would expect someone to learn on the job somewhere like National League North or South or something, but not in the Prem. Exactly. And not in the third biggest club in the country. It is insane. It beggars belief. It really does. So Edu, bless him, or not bless him, to the point. He, when I was talking earlier about what the KPIs or performance indicators were, or what the targets were from Mikel Arteta in this job, and he said what he said, and it's alleged that he said there weren't any targets, but what he said, right, and I'm going to show you what he said in a minute. He was in an interview with Jeff Shreve from Sky Sports, and Jeff Shreve, right, asked him, if all the players are fit, what do you think this squad should be capable of this season? Is it top 4? Is it top 6? What is realistic? Edu says, I don't want to go for top 4. I don't want to get top 6 or top 8 or top 10. I'm really just looking forward to seeing this squad play together. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone fit. So what that says to me is that he don't care where the club finishes. He's not interested, which for me is an absolute bloody shambles. I just think that's completely inappropriate, and it shows that he doesn't want to set a target. So basically, what does that say to the manager? It doesn't matter what he does. He can just do whatever he fancies, and there's no pressure on him. And I'm sorry, but that's not appropriate. Any job that you have, you're going to have targets attached to it. So I want to know what they are. Surely to God, they're not. In reality, he can't be being allowed to operate in this role without any targets. It is insane. So, but what I'd like to know, really, is if that is the case for Mikel Arteta, who is in the role of manager, does that apply to every other employee of Arsenal Football Club? For example, does it apply to all the people that are working in the club shop, known as the Armoury? Does it apply to every other person who's employed by the football club? I bet it doesn't. I bet you that the people working in the club shop have got really tough targets to meet. And that if they don't meet them, that their managers come down on them like a ton of bricks. I wouldn't have no doubt about that whatsoever. So why is it any different for this man? Why is he allowed to have no targets attached to his job? It's madness. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at Mikel Arteta's statistical, his record, his performance record as Arsenal manager. And I've got a whole load of statistics to show you about this. All right. So let's look at this. All right. So since he's been appointed in December 2019, he had 20 games in charge in that first season that he was in charge. All right. And during that time, he had a 45% win percentage, and the club, he got 33 points. So then the following season, which was his first full season in charge, he ended up getting a 47.37% win percentage, and the club finished 8th with 61 points. All right. They also conceded 37 goals. Now that's key, because I'm going to come back to that shortly. Right. This season, so far, he's played 21 games, and so far they've got 36 points, and they're sitting in 7th, I believe, and they have a win percentage of 52.38% so far. So which means in total, in the Premier League, he's played 79 games. He's won 38 of them, drawn 16, lost 25. And he's got a win percentage of 48.1%. Sorry, but to me, that is completely unacceptable. It's not good enough. And never mind getting a new contract, he should be out the door. He should be out of the door. And he should have been sacked at least 3 times already. Right? So on average, in his spell in charge, he's had a win percentage of 48.25%. All right? Now, if we compare him with other recent Arsenal managers and their win percentages, Arsene Wenger had a win percentage of 57.89. Unai Emery had a win percentage of 55.13. And Mikel Arteta has got a win percentage of 52.17, and that is across all competitions. All right. So, Dan Evans says, "Gosh, 45% win rate is shocking." Yeah, it's terrible. Absolutely disgusting. I just can't believe that he's still here. I would have sacked him. Well, I wouldn't have given him the job in the first place, but after being given the job, he should have been sacked at least 3 times. Beat says, how long he manager? He became manager in December 2019. Okay. So let's move on. Right. So let's look at Arsenal's league positions, because this is quite alarming as well, to be honest. From 1997-98 to 2008-2009, and then we'll do from 2009-10 season up to the present day. So as you can see, this spell, Arsenal were managed by Arsene Wenger, and they had a lot of success. They finished first, second, first, second, fourth, third, and fourth. All right. Now, the next period, which was from 2009-10 up until this current season, under Arsene Wenger, they finished third, they finished fourth, they finished third, they finished fourth again, third, second, and then they finished fifth and then sixth. And then in 2017-18 season, Arsene Wenger was relieved of his duties, and at the start of the 2018-19 season, he was replaced by Unai Emery. And Unai Emery, in his only full season in charge, he finished fifth, and he also reached a European final, the club's first European final in 24 years. All right. Then, the following season, in December 2019, Unai Emery was sacked, and he was replaced by Mikel Arteta. And that season, Mikel Arteta finished 8th. The following season, Mikel Arteta's first full season in charge, he again finished 8th. And so far this season, he's sitting in 7th. Right, so some other statistics about Arsenal. In a table of teams showing the fewest shots, Arsenal have had 27 shots, which means that they're second in that table, second with the fewest amounts of shots. The lowest shot conversion, they've got a shot conversion of 3.7, which is the second worst, and then the lowest shot accuracy, which is 37%, which is the third worst. Right? Now his complete record as Arsenal manager, right? He's played 115 games. He's won 60 of them, drew 23, lost 32. He scored 191 goals, conceded 117, and managed to get, if you do your 3 points for a win and 1 for a draw for that, he got 203 points. So that gives him points per game ratio of, 1.77 and a win percentage of 52.17. So if he continues on the trajectory that he's on at the moment, Arsenal will end up getting 65 points for this current season. All right. And if we look here, this is a predicted table that I drew up on the basis that everyone, if they were to continue on the past and perform as they have been for the season so far, this is where they would end up. Manchester City would win the league with 94 points. Liverpool would be second with 83 points. Chelsea would end up finishing third with 74 points. Tottenham would finish fourth with 68 points. Manchester United would finish fifth with 66 points. Arsenal would finish sixth with 65 points. Wolves would end up finishing 7th with 62 points. Right, so let's think there's another chat. Dan Evans says, we'll be right back. Just signing that petition while I remember. Thank you very much, Dan. I really appreciate that. So, and in the relegation places, this would see Newcastle relegated with 27 points. Watford relegated also with 27 points. And Burnley relegated with 25. Norwich would escape relegation by 1 point, and Everton would finish 16th with 36 points. So there you go. Right. So let's look at now. I want to compare Arsene Wenger's worst season, all right, the worst season against Unai Emery's season in charge and Mikel Arteta. All right. So Arsene Wenger's worst season in charge came in the 2017-18 season, which was his last season, by the way. And he finished 6th in the league and got 63 points. Last season, Mikel Arteta finished 8th with 61 points. Mikel Arteta, if he goes on the same path as what he's currently doing, he'll end up with 65 points and end up finishing 6th, which will be just 2 points more than Arsene Wenger's worst ever season in charge, right? It will also mean he will miss out on qualifying for European competition, I believe. He may have qualified for the European Conference League, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I think he will qualify for that, right? But even so, he would have again failed, in my opinion. Finishing 6th in the league is not acceptable for a club the size of Arsenal. Then Unai Emery. This was the manager that Arsenal sacked and replaced with Mikel Arteta. Let's not forget that, right? In 2018-19, which was his only season in charge, okay, he finished 5th, 1 point below the below 4th, which would have been the place that you need to get into to qualify for the Champions League. And he also reached a European final, okay? The first time that Arsenal had reached a European final in 24 years. Now, this is really, really wound me up when I worked this out. Arsenal's record against the traditional top 4 and the top 6, right? Arsenal against their top 6 rivals, which is Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. Since Mikel Arteta has been in charge, they finished 5th, all right? They only managed to accumulate 23 points. They won 7 games, drew 2 and lost 13, right? Tottenham, they only finished above Tottenham by 2 points, who had a worse record against the traditional top 6. Against the top 4, the traditional top 4, which is Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United, Arsenal this season haven't won a single game, all right? And they finished 5th out of that mini league. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely damning. It's damning. I mean, how can that possibly be acceptable? Dan says, back, I believe I've signed it. Thank you so much, Dan. I delayed this stream for an hour so that I could give you more time to get back from prison for you to watch it. I hope that's all right, mate. And yeah, I just find that absolutely disgusting. And they want to give this man a new contract. I'm sorry, it is unbelievable. And it just for me just shows that the culture of acceptance of mediocrity, which is infesting Arsenal Football Club. It is absolutely shocking. Right, okay. Right, so let's have a look at the gap in years between Arsenal's title successes. So they won their first title in 1931, which is the first title success they ever had. They next won the title 2 years later. And then between 1933 and 1935, they won 3 successive titles, right? Then, after the title success in 1935, they next won the title 3 years later. And then next won the title 10 years later in 1948. Then after that, won the title again 5 years later in 1953. The next title success after that was 18 years later in 1971. And then again, another 18 years would pass before they would win the league again, when George Graham famously took Arsenal to Anfield and won by 2-0 against all expectation and against all the odds to win the league title. They then won the title again in 1991, which was a gap of 2 years. Then 7 years later, they won the title in 1998 under Arsene Wenger. He then went and won the title again 4 years later in 2002. And then in 2004, he again won the title 2 years later. And there was the year they went invincible. And then since then, they haven't won a title since. And if we don't win the title this year, which we won, let's be honest, they're not going to win the title this year. It will be another 18 years. So, well, it'll be 18 years since they won the title at the end of this season. So the earliest that they can win a title will be next season, which I don't believe they will. That will be 19 years since they won the title, which is the biggest gap in the club's history between title successes. Another reason why this man shouldn't be given another contract. Right, so let's look at his transfer dealings, because this is another massive bone of contention for me. All right, so he has spent £221 million in the transfer market since he was appointed, right? And signed, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 players, all right? Now, in January this year, he's loaned out so far 5 players, right? And bought in none. We haven't signed a single person either on loan or purchased anyone this transfer window. Okay. So these are the players that are currently either on loan or have had their contracts cancelled this season. Right. The goalkeepers are runner Alex Runnison. The defenders are William Saliba, Hector Bellerin, Pablo Mari, Mavropanos and Sieg Kolasinac, who had his contract cancelled. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. The midfielders are Lucas Torreira, Matteo Guendouzi, and then there's Reece Nelson and Folarin Balogun, who are forwards. All right? Now, so this means that Arsenal's current squad, we've got 3 goalkeepers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 defenders. So we're pretty well stocked with defenders. And we've also currently we have midfielders. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 midfield players. Of those, we've only got 3 that are available for selection. And one of them, only one of them is a central midfielder, right, which is Albert Sambi Lokonga, Okay? The other two are attacking midfield players, which means that we haven't got enough players to set up a proper formation because of his mismanagement, right? He let Ainsley Maitland-Niles go out on loan without having a suitable replacement for him. Because otherwise, he could have been playing alongside Lokonga. The last game that Ainsley Maitland-Niles played for the club, he played in central midfield and won the Man of the Match award. All right? So how does that make sense? Someone please explain to me how it makes sense that you allow people to go out on loan or you sell them and don't get a replacement in first. It is madness, and it's incompetence of the highest order. What the hell are Edu and Arteta playing at? Honestly, it just baffles belief as far as I'm concerned. That in itself is a sackable offence. It really is. And then we've got Thomas Partey. He's suspended. He was on international duty. I'm going to talk more about Thomas Partey in a minute. Then we've got Mohamed El Neni. He's on international duty with Egypt at the AFCON. And then we've got Granit Xhaka, and who at the moment seems to be either sent off or booked every single time he plays or does something stupid to hand goals to the opposition. As it was before the season started, he had a statistic which said he makes more mistakes leading to opposition goals than any other player. All right. Then in the forward line, we got Lacazette. His contract is expiring and is refusing to sign a contract. We've got Pat Aubameyang, who Mikel Arteta's fallen out with. Right. You've got Pepe, who he doesn't want to play. He obviously doesn't rate him because he never gets any game time. We got Eddie Nketiah, and who his contract is expiring, and he again is another one who's refusing to sign it. So in reality, the only two forward players that we can use at the moment are Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. I mean, he's insane. What is he doing? Honestly. And he wonders why we're not winning games of football. It is shocking. So there's more people in the chat. Right, what formation works best for Arsenal? Because no way is three midfielders enough to use an effective formation. Exactly, Dan. So personally, I'd like to see him use 4-4-2. All right, but last time out, we went with 4-1-4-1. We had Sambi Lokonga, who's the only central midfielder we've got, playing in the defensive midfield position. And then we had 4 attacking midfielders. And we had Gabriel Martinelli. We had Bukayo Saka and another. I can't even remember. I'm so angry that I can't even remember. But we played this 4-1 formation, 4-1-4-1 formation, and it failed miserably. So yeah, that's what I'd like to do if we had enough personnel to do it. But at the moment we don't. So, and that's because of him. The assembled, I'd say, more than incompetence, is another agenda that the fan base is unaware of. Okay, thanks very much, assembled. What do you think the agenda is that you're talking about? Because I'll be interested to hear about that. I really would. I'd really like to know what it is, because I Seriously, the assembled, I'd like to know, because I think it's incompetence. I just don't understand how this man can still be in a job. He shouldn't have been given the job in the first place, and how he's still in a job, I just don't understand. I really don't. But I'd like to know your opinion about it as well, mate. Please tell me what you think, because I really want to know. How it is that they can justify him still being in post. Right, so the other thing, in addition to that, he has Mikel Arteta has overseen a shocking lack of discipline in the Arsenal squad. Recently, we've had allegations that Granit Xhaka, in my opinion, the worst midfielder ever to play for Arsenal Football Club, he's been embroiled in a betting scandal. And to me, I think it's true. I really do. And the reason I think it's true is because the amount of stupid mistakes, bookings, sending offs that he makes. I mean, no one makes that many stupid mistakes or gets booked that frequently or gets sent off that frequently. He's been sent off twice already this season. It's ridiculous. Without there being something weird going on. And this game against Leeds, when he got booked in the 85th minute for time wasting. Arsenal were 4-1 up at the time, and he was going to take. Arsenal had a free kick, which he was due to take it. It was round about the halfway line. You can see in the picture, it was sort of just to the left of the centre circle. And he stepped forward to take it, stepped back, had a look around, stepped forward again to take it again, stopped, stepped back, had another look around, and the referee booked him. And rightly so. I mean, it was ridiculous. 4-1 up with 5 minutes to go. There's no way that they're going to lose the game at that stage. Well, you'd like to think so. Anyway. Then there's the issue with Thomas Partey. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Thomas Partey was at the African Nations Cup representing Ghana. He came back on the day that Arsenal played Liverpool. Right, okay, there's another chat just come in. Let's see what that's all about. And Class 43H. Class 43 Harrison fan says Mikel Arteta should remain within the role. Just because he does something wrong does not mean they should get kicked out from their job. Right, but he's done several things wrong, mate, and his performance in the job has been absolutely shocking. I don't know if you've been watching this video from the start, but I would ask you to go back to the beginning, watch all the statistical analysis, and tell me why that is acceptable for a manager of Arsenal Football Club. I understand, I agree with you that doing one thing wrong isn't an appropriate reason to sack somebody, but this is a consistent 2 years of abject failure in the role. And it's not acceptable. No other club of Arsenal's size and stature would he still be in the job. It just wouldn't happen, right? So I was talking about Thomas Partey. He came back to Arsenal on the day that Arsenal played Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final, right? And here we go. And he says, Class 43 Harrison fan says, just because he messes up for one season doesn't mean he should be gone. I think he should be given one more chance. Mate, he's been here since December 2019. So he had half season then. He had a full season last season, and he's midway through another one. When he took over the role at the begin in December 2019, the previous season we'd finished 5th and got to a European final. He hasn't been able to emulate that, not once. So I'm sorry, but there are several reasons why he should have been sacked. Any other club, he would have been sacked at least 3 or 4 times, given his performance in the role. It's just not acceptable. That's only 2-ish seasons, just he needs to settle. He needs to settle his nerves. All right, okay. That just says it all. That absolutely does. That is. Sorry, mate. I just find that staggering. It takes time for people to adjust. Right. Okay. So why is it acceptable to give a man who's got no experience the job as Arsenal Football Club manager? If we'd had an appointed and an experienced manager, there would be no time there wouldn't have been any necessary time to adjust. Right? If we'd appointed Carlo Ancelotti, Rafa Benitez, the guy at Tottenham, Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho, you're telling me that they need time to adjust? Do me a favour. Not a chance, mate. Sorry, but I don't buy that at all. And I'm sorry, but 2 8th place finishes and on course for a 6th place finish isn't acceptable. Because if we continue on the way we are, we're going to finish 6th this season, which will mean that they will not qualify for either of the 2 top European competitions. Let's be honest, would you accept the job if you got offered it? Probably, yeah, I would. And I don't blame him for taking the job. But what I do expect is for him to be judged on his performance. And clearly he isn't, because he should have been sacked already on at least 2 or 3 occasions. Let's not forget that last season he was knocked out of the Europa League at the semi-final stage by the guy that the club had sacked the year before, Unai Emery. That in itself is a madhouse. Now, we've also got a situation where he's allowed 5 people to leave the club and before getting replacements. And now that has left us so short at the club, we're not able to field a team effectively. We're not able to put a team out that operates in an effective formation. But it's not right to be negative on people straight away. Mate, I knew that he was going to fail in the role. I knew he was, because of the fact that he's got no experience. He didn't have any experience. He shouldn't have been given the job in the first place, which is why I didn't want him to get the job. We should have gone for an experienced manager. And I don't understand why it's negative to not want him in charge, right? I don't. I don't understand that. What I care about is Arsenal Football Club. I couldn't give a toss about Mikel Arteta, right? I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm not a Mikel Arteta fan. I want what's best for Arsenal Football Club. For me, that is what matters, right? Not the Mikel Arteta's career, okay? What I care about is what's good for Arsenal Football Club. And having Mikel Arteta is not good for Arsenal Football Club. He's doing uncalculable damage to this club. Dan Evans says, at class, from a neutral view, I think he should be gone as this is one of the biggest clubs. So this ain't about getting people experience. It's about winning and making money for the club. Exactly, Dan. And also class for Harrison, class 43, Harrison fan. This ain't a further education college. This is Arsenal Football Club. All right? I just don't understand your logic, mate. I'm sorry. I really don't. You know, if you've got your opinion, that's fine, and I respect it. But sorry, mate. I have a different opinion. You admitted to saying you jumped to a conclusion. When did I say that? I never said that. Show me where I said that, because I haven't. Hi, Warren, says Taib. I hope you're okay, Taib. We've just got someone in the chat who is talking a lot of rubbish, to be quite honest. Keep out of it, Dan. You ain't a fan, so you don't know what he's like. Mate, you don't come into my chat and start having a go at people. So I'm sorry, my friend. I'm not having that. I'm blocking you. Goodbye. Dan, I'm really sorry that guy attacked you, but I'm not prepared to put up with people attacking people in my chat. Sorry, mate. I hope he hasn't upset you. He's got no right to say that to you. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I respect his opinion, but I'm not having him attacking people. Rubbish people get blocked, says Taib. Yeah, man, I'm not having it. I'm not having him coming in here abusing people like that. Yeah, so Dan, I hope you're okay, buddy. Yeah, so Thomas Partey, right? He came back from the African Cup of Nations on the day of the League Cup semi-final against Liverpool. He flew back from Cameroon on a flight which left at 4:30 in the morning. So which meant he would have had to have got to the airport at 2:30, right? So let's say, for the sake of argument, he's staying an hour's journey away from the airport, right? That would have meant he would have probably had to leave where he was staying at 1:30. So probably would have had to have been up at 12:30 in order to get ready, get out, get to the airport on time, and everything else. He then, when he gets back, he gets put on the substitutes bench. And anyone who saw him, I tried to find a picture of it, but I couldn't find one because I wanted to show it. Right? Anyone who would have seen him sitting on the substitute bench, he looked like the poor bloke was about to fall asleep. It was absolutely terrible. And then he gets brought on, and then unsurprisingly, 10 minutes later, he gets sent off. I mean, it's an absolute shambles. And all of that could have been avoided if Ainsley Maitland-Niles was still at the club. He could have been played. Mikel Arteta should have said to him, don't worry, Thomas, thank you for coming back. You go and have a rest at home and relax. And we'll see you tomorrow for training, something like that. Instead of that, he gets forced onto the substitutes bench because we ain't got enough players, and ends up getting himself sent off. And Taib says, Dan, you all right, my friend? Thank you, Taib, for saying that, mate. I do appreciate it. Dad says, how nice of him to pop by. Yeah, man, I'm not having it. I don't mind him having a different opinion, but I'm not having him like coming out with crap like that comment he made about me admitting that what was it he said? He made some comment about the fact that I'd admitted that I'd contradicted myself or something. Dan Evans says, I'm fine, thanks. I couldn't care less what people say to me. They don't know me. Yeah, man. Exactly. You're never going to see you, so fuck him. Stupid dickhead. That's the spirit, Dan. Big up to you. Exactly. 100%, Taib. I agree with you, man. Yeah, so, yeah, that whole situation could have been avoided. Instead of that, he got forced to play. He ended up getting sent off, and now he's suspended and unavailable for selection. Well done, Arsenal Football Club. Absolute madness. So let's look on. I want to briefly touch on this clown's poor management skills. He is so far, as I can see, fallen out with 13 different players. And these are Joe Willock, David Luiz, Willian, Siak Kolasinac, Emi Martinez, Mesut Ozil, Matteo Guendouzi, Lucas Torreira, William Saliba, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, Nicolas Pepe, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I mean, I'm not going to go into the details of each and every single one of these, but that is shocking. I can't think of one other manager in world football who's fallen out with so many different members of the playing staff that he's supposed to be managing. I mean, it just seems to me that he can't handle experienced players. He can't coach them, right? There's not one forward player at this club that has flourished under his management. There isn't. Not one. It's fucking madness. Honestly. That in itself is a sackable offence. Anyway, how are you, Taib? Says Dan Evans. And Dan says, Taib says, I'm Dan, I'm good, bro. And Dan says, good to hear. So, yeah, then, you know, the point, when you manage people, it's about getting the best out of them. In any field line of business, you have to do that. You have to keep them motivated. You have to keep them performing to a high level. That's what you have to do. I know I've managed people, right? And it's a hard job. And I'm telling you now, I don't want to manage people ever again. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. So yeah, no, it is insane. It really is. The amount of people that he's fallen out with. And I can't think of one manager in world football that has had such a bad record of handling people. It's shocking. And that's why I call him the Islington talent killer. Because I can't think of one player that or certainly forward player, that he has that's flourished under him. Let me just go through my notes. Right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My internet went down there for a little while. I'm sorry about that. So let me just get... Right. Yeah, that's better. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that. Time says, Warren, you're frozen. Laugh about that. Mate, it's my dodgy internet. I thought it was my Wi-Fi. Laugh out loud, says Dan. No, mate, mine. Dan, shut your fucking mouth. Do you know what you mate? You're a wanker. No. What a fucking arsehole. So I blocked him again. Sorry, Dan. What a tosser. Yeah. Excuse my language, good people, but I'm not having that. I'm not. Prick. He's probably about 12 or something. Anyway, someone really wants to talk with me. Mate, I'm telling you, man, I would... if I see him face to face, man, he'll regret it. How nice of them. Yeah, exactly. So the other issue is lots of people who want him to remain in post, like that clown that was on just now and started getting abusive, keep saying that he's fixed the defence. All right. Now, if he continues on the way, that he is this season, all right. Now, bear in mind that last season they conceded 37 goals, right? So this season, if he carries on the way he is, he will concede 45. People keep telling me, yes, but he's fixed the defence. Well, quite clearly he hasn't, has he? If he's on track to concede 45 goals this season, and last season they conceded 37, he hasn't fixed the defence. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's shocking. It really is. So, no, he hasn't fixed the defence. A load of utter crap. And as I said before, his predecessor finished 5th and reached a European final. All right? And he reached a European final and finished 5th. He hasn't been able to achieve that once. In fact, he finished 8th. So, fuck off, you little cunt. And how sad do you have to be to go into a chat room of a YouTube channel and get blocked, then go and make another account and then do it again and then do it again? What a prick. Sorry, Dan. Laugh out loud. Trolls make me sick, says Taib. Yeah, man, look, fuck him. He ain't hurting me. The more views I get, the better I like it. So that's 3 views he's given me from him. What a muppet. I wouldn't want him to manage Stockport. No, mate, I wouldn't let him loose on any club. I'm telling you something. If and when he does get sacked by Arsenal, he'll never get another job in football again, that's for sure. The other thing about him as well, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, is about his tactical ineptitude, because he is unable to change things around from a losing position so that Arsenal win a game of football. So what I mean by that, Arsenal have never been behind at half time in a game and then him make tactical changes and then go on and win it. It's never happened. Not once. I mean, that is unbelievable. It really is. I just find that absolutely shocking. So in the summer, just gone, we were desperate for more midfielders, and we didn't sign anyone. And he's back again. I'm back, bitch. Oh, hello. Nice to see you. I tell you what. Why don't you fuck off? That's 4 now. 4. Thanks, fella. Keep coming. So yeah, we were desperate for midfielders, and he signed one, I think. He hasn't signed one forward player since he's been manager either. Now in January, we're desperate for a forward and we're desperate for a midfielder. And Taib says our tactical lacks tactical intelligence. Man management is poor. No more leg ahead. Yeah, exactly. And then Dan says, must be a real fan making all those accounts just for you. Mate, I love it. He's asked 4 times. Fucking what an idiot. So, and this business about the squad, all right, and the lack of depth in the squad has contributed to that game against Tottenham having to be called off. That's why they asked for it, because he reckons they didn't have enough players to fulfil the fixture. I just find it unbelievable. It's embarrassing, man. Yeah, we should have played the game. But what I didn't like was the negative press that we got from the media over it. They didn't go in on all the other clubs like that who had asked for games to be cancelled. So why are they doing it to Arsenal? I just don't understand that. I just thought it was mad. So, yeah, in conclusion, well, I want to talk about the fans now. So that little prick who keeps coming in, making accounts, he's going to love this bit, because one of the biggest problems at Arsenal Football Club is our supporters, the ones that want Arteta to remain in charge. And then we've got this fella saying, hi, Hole, how are you? Nuga. Right, okay. I don't understand what you mean by that, but yeah, never mind. Sorry, fella. Yeah, so one of the biggest problems at the club are the supporters accepting mediocrity, because unless we put pressure on the club to change things, they're not going to. They're just going to let it carry on. They don't really give a damn about the club. If you go to Arsenal Football Club and have a look at the stadium and the state it's in, you'll see what I mean. Now, the paint is peeling. The paint actually that's still there looks faded. It's terrible. Prick. Oh, okay, fella. It's you again, is it? Never mind. Thank you for all your views. You're really helping. I love it. Thank you. But you're blocked. And Time says, Warren, what's a Nuja? Laugh my arse off. Mate, I ain't got a fucking clue. I don't know what it is. Honestly, if someone knows, please tell me, because I'd love to know. So, yeah, the fans are a massive problem, because they're accepting this crap and allowing it to continue. And the fact that the club is infested with mediocrity and acceptance of this. What does it say to Mikel Arteta that he He's offered a new contract, right? Even before the season's finished. And there's no targets attached to it. To me, it just says that he can do whatever he wants and get away with it. And it doesn't matter. Dan Evans says LMAO. Exactly, mate. I just find it hilarious. He really came back again. SMH. Fucking hell, man. It's bonkers, isn't it? I'm thinking he was trying to say the N-word, but failed. But why would you do that? I just find it staggering. It's unbelievable. David, and I just don't understand why it's acceptable, this performance that he's put in as manager. I just don't get it. David Moyes, the West Ham manager, went on record as saying that he wants to get top four. Yet Arsenal are just happy to let this mediocrity continue, and they don't care about finishing fourth. How is that acceptable? How is that Arsenal acting like a big club? Because we ain't. There's no pressure on Arteta at all. It's just allowed to get on with it because they know that he can't bloody do the job. So, and then what point do you say to him, look, enough is enough. This can't be allowed to continue, and you have to go. And Dan said he must have a pretty sad life. Hopefully he doesn't come back. Laughing emoji. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a bit sad, really, isn't it? Altogether. It's just pathetic. What a stupid child. Now, for me, this is summed up by that character. It goes on AFTV. I'm not going to mention his name, but when I talk about him, you're going to know who it is. He goes on AFTV and he's the most deluded and ridiculous fan I've ever seen on that channel. He really is. Now, he is typical of a lot of the fans in the Arsenal fan base. And the comment he made, really, look at this prick. Your freaking life is sad. Really? I'm not the one making multiple accounts and going into YouTube channels making abusive comments. You fucking dickhead. Now fuck off. He said he made a comment at the weekend after the Burnley game that Arteta was the greatest manager ever. I found that disgusting. How offensive is that to the great managers that this club has had and other great managers that other clubs have had? So just to name some of the great managers from Arsenal's past, we had Herbert Chapman, George Graham, Arsene Wenger, to name but three, all right? And he's comparing them, this clown, to them. Do me a favour. And then he's got the audacity to say he's the greatest manager ever. How insulting is that to Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley, Jock Stein, who mentored Alex Ferguson, by the way, probably and achieved the greatest achievement in British football history when he guided a Celtic team which contained all the players in the team. Not one of them was born within more than 30 miles away from the ground, and they went and won the European Cup. I mean, for me, that is the greatest achievement in British football history, because not only were they the first British team to ever win the European Cup, but they were the first non-Latin team to win it, i.e. not from Spain, Italy, whatever, right? And to do that, with a team of players that none of them were born more than 30 miles away from the ground. For me, it's unbelievable. It will never, ever be repeated. And then you got this fucking clown saying Mikel Arteta is the greatest manager ever. 2 8th place finishes and on course for a 6th place finish. And he's the greatest manager ever and won 1 FA Cup. Do me a fucking favour. What a dickhead. And then obviously you've got Alex Ferguson, you've got Brian Clough, you've got Howard Kendall, all these great managers that I've just mentioned, and he thinks he's better than all of them. Dear oh, dear me. And that is typical of the fans in this fan base. They will do anything, saying the most ridiculous and stupid things to defend this clown. There's always an excuse. Things like, oh, he hasn't got his own players. Oh, he needs a transfer window. Oh, he needs more time. What a lot of bollocks. All of it's bollocks. The only reason they want him to stay in charge is because they fancy him and they want to shag him. Fuck you, Ryan and Dan. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. Why don't you do what you really want to do and go and fuck Mikel Arteta, you absolute fucking wrong'un. You're a prick, mate. The level of disrespect to real Arsenal fans by that comment he made was just off the fucking scale. But the thing that I found most disturbing about all of it, right, wasn't the comment that he made. What I found disturbing about it was the fact that no one who was standing around him at the time fucking called him out over it or like started barracking him, because I just thought it was embarrassing. Not one person said anything. I mean, to be honest with you, it was one of the most ridiculous and stupid things I think I've ever heard anyone say about this manager. And to be honest, I've seen people having their liberty taken away for saying less. Do you know? I mean, seriously, fellas in white knit coats need to. Dan says, Warren, well put. Thank you. Thanks, Dan. You're welcome, my friend. How cute of you to pop by again. So nice to see you for the 7th time. Yeah, I'm loving it, mate. All these views, I'm loving it. Warren, you got frozen again. Oh, no. See, Warren, that troll is a troubled individual. He needs to go and get therapy. Yeah, he needs to do it with that fella from AFTV. He really does. Seriously, the men in the white coats need to come along and take them away, because it's embarrassing. Obviously, he clearly needs help. Clearly, I mean, to be honest with you, I feel sorry for him if he thinks that Mikel Arteta is the greatest manager ever. I just find that absolutely staggering. And I actually think that he isn't an Arsenal fan. I think he's just doing it to wind Arsenal fans up. He can't seriously believe that Mikel Arteta is the greatest manager ever. There's only 2 reasons why he's doing it, in my opinion. 2 possible reasons. One, because he wants to wind Arsenal fans up, and he's either a Spurs fan or a United fan, something like that. The other reason is because he wants to shag Mikel Arteta and he fancies him. That's the only reason I can think of. And this sums up the Arsenal fan base in a nutshell. And to me, there's a lot of them, I'm not saying all of them, but there's a lot of them who they love Mikel Arteta more than they do Arsenal Football Club. I'm convinced of it because of the rubbish that I hear And I just don't understand where it's coming from, because he's not a club legend. When he played for the club, right, he never ripped up any trees. He wasn't that great. It was BTEC Cesc Fabregas. We bought him on the last day of the transfer window, whenever it was that he signed for the club. I don't even remember. I remember him signing, yeah, of course I do, but I can't remember the year it was. Um, um, and then Warren, I thought Wenger had Arsenal's best interests at heart, but his last 10 years proved otherwise. 100%, mate. All he was interested in was picking up his wages, because he was on about 12 million a year or something like that for managing Arsenal. I mean, if I was on that salary, I don't think I'd want to give it up either. But, you know, you have to recognise when you're not doing a good job. But, yeah. And these fans that go on about Mikel Arteta, as I was saying, I don't understand where it's coming from, because he's not a club legend, right? He came to the club on the last day of the transfer window, whatever year it was that he was signed. I remember him signing. He wasn't a great player for the club. He's more of an Everton legend than he is an Arsenal legend. If you talk to Everton fans, they'll tell you that he's more respected at Everton than he is at Arsenal. So where's all this crap coming from? I just don't understand it. I really don't. It don't make any sense to me. So that's why I've put here Arsenal FC, not Arteta FC. James Dunlop's in the chat. Hi, Warren. In my opinion, the extension rumours for Arteta is baffling, but not a shock. It reminds me of what happened with Wenger. Absolutely, mate. 100%. I just don't understand it. And I was just saying that I don't understand where a lot of these Arsenal fans' love of Mikel Arteta comes from. Because I was saying he's more of an Everton legend than an Arsenal legend. I mean, you're an Everton fan. You know how he's thought of at Everton. But I bet you wouldn't take him at Everton now, would you? Hi, James. You're right, mate, says Taib. Good day, James, says Dan Evans. Hi, Taib. I'm good, mate. And hi, Dan, says James. Yeah, so, that sums it all up, really. Oh, here we go. Another, and he's back again. What a fucking clown. Do you not realise, my friend, that you're making my channel grow by keep coming in here and coming out with all this bollocks? So, goodbye. Yeah, sorry, James. We're having a lot of idiot. We've had that clown. Keeps coming in, making fake accounts and coming out with abusive comments. So I keep blocking him. I think he's done it 7 or 8 times. So James says, Arteta isn't really a legend of ours, but he was a quality player for us. There you go, because he wasn't a quality player for us. That's for sure. That's for sure. I didn't rate him at all. Oh, bugger. Oh, shit. How do I unblock him? Oh, shit. Oh, fucking hell. How do I get him back? No, poor Dan. Yeah. I've got to figure out how to get Dan. I'll send him an email apologising and saying that I'm going to try and find out a way to unblock him. Ask Diesel next time about how to add mods to the channel, says James. Yeah, I will, mate. Thank you for that. I'll also ask him how I can unblock someone as well. But I'll also have a look in the YouTube studio and see if I can find out how to do it. So, yeah, I mean, to me, that just sums the Arsenal supporters up. A lot of, well, not all of them, obviously, but a lot of them are just like, they're just unreal. They really are. So there you go. I don't believe that Mikel Arteta should be given a new contract. So in the description to this video, I've got a link to a petition that I've made to stop Mikel Arteta being offered a new contract or a contract extension. So please go on, click on that link and sign it because we need to tell the club that this, we're not having it, and it's a good way to do it. So yeah, I just want to big up the Gooner Claude Trust as well. They offer opportunities to young people, especially kids, to attend football matches at the Arsenal, disadvantaged kids. It's an excellent charity. There's a link in the description of this video where you can find out more about their work. So please go and check them out and find out more about what they do. And then there's some other great YouTube channels that you can check out. So there's the Old Skool Gunner. He's been supporting Arsenal since 1992. He discusses all things about Arsenal and he brings you insightful Arsenal content and reactions to news about Arsenal. Arsenal Alex, top man, passionate Gooner, as is the Old Skool Gunner. He brings you all things. He brings you stuff all about Arsenal, including instant match reactions. He also gets one of the Arsenal legendary supporters on his channel on a regular basis to talk about what's going on at the club, Kenny Ken. So those chats are always really, really great. Then there's Drawn by Dre. He brings you top quality Arsenal-related content, including his highly rated and excellent possession-based podcast. Then there's the Aussie Gooner, discusses all things Arsenal from an Aussie perspective. Absolute top man. Very passionate, very forthright in his views, and his videos are absolutely spot on. He does excellent analysis, and I love him. I love his videos. And then there's Diesel Arsenal. Diesel was an ex-presenter on the Claude and the Bansters channel, and Diesel Diesel has now set up his own channel, which is called Diesel Arsenal, and he talks about all things to do with the Arsenal, as well as he presents discussions on things like, well, he wants to present things on other subjects such as films, dating, mental health, amongst many other popular topics. So there's links to all these channels in the description of the video. Go and check them out. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Don't forget, people, to share this video around. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to put a like on the video, as I say. And yeah, these channels that I've just told you about are great. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Dan, I'm so sorry, man. I didn't know that I accidentally blocked you. I didn't mean to do it. It was a big mistake. I thought I was blocking that other clown. So I'm really sorry. I'm gonna try and contact YouTube and see and speak to a few other people to see what I need to do about getting you unblocked. So I'm really sorry, man. I hope you're not offended, because it was a complete accident. Ty was saying to laugh out loud. Hi again, Dan. Laugh out loud. Yeah, Dan, I'm embarrassed. I just don't think it's my day. Laugh out loud, says Dan. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have to put up with that. That stupid child probably can't wipe his ass properly. Laugh out loud. I don't think he's fucking old enough to wipe his ass on his own, mate. That's what I think. That child must live in his parents' basement. Sad, sad fool, says James. Absolutely, mate. But I like the fact that I've upset him, because I obviously have. I've obviously really rattled him, that I've gone in on the object of his desire, because he obviously is one of these clowns who fancies Mikel Arteta and he wants to shag him. So fuck him, as far as I'm concerned. Excuse my language, people, but I can't be dealing with muppets like that. Dan says, don't worry about it. Mistakes happen. Yeah, and it was a mistake, mate. I never want to block you intentionally, that's for sure. So, yeah, what do you guys think about this business of Mikel Arteta being offered a new contract? As I said in the description for the video, there is a link to a petition that I've made that if you don't agree with him being offered a new contract, you can sign it. All you have to do is just click on the link and then follow the instructions on the screen. If you don't want him to be offered a new contract, please click on the link, follow the instructions, pass it around to as many other people as you possibly can. It'll be absolutely amazing. It really, really help, because I want to get this bloody petition out and reach as many people as possible. And Dan says it's bullshit. Sack him. Absolutely, mate. He should have never got the job, in my opinion, in the first place. So, and that goes for anyone. I don't mean that everyone who's watching this on playback should be sacked. What I mean is, anyone who's watching this on playback, please, if you don't agree with Mikel Arteta being given a contract extension, please go and check out the petition, sign it. All you have to do is click on the link and it will tell you what you need to do. All right? So please make sure you do that, because we need to get this clown out of the club. It's the first step. It's not the only issue at the club. Like I said, there's lots of other issues that need to be resolved, not just Mikel Arteta. But it'd be a good first step. James Dunlopsy. It sounds like what Everton would do, accepting mediocrity by extending his contract. It's just not acceptable, is it? Right? Everton and Arsenal are two of the biggest clubs in the country, and the way they're behaving is embarrassing. I know one person who won't be signing it. Laugh out loud. Yeah. Yeah, I do too. Spot on. Warren, some ball fellas are very smart, but Julian is dumb as fuck. Laugh out loud. yeah, man. I'm glad you worked it out, mate, because he really fucking wound me up at the weekend, I have to say. I just found it embarrassing. I really did. And he's obviously absolutely clueless. Anyway, guys, that's it. I've said everything I want to say about it all. I'm going to finish now. But thanks very much to all of you for tuning in and watching. I want to give big up to Ty Hussein, Dan Evans, James Dunlop, Dan Evans twice actually. And let's see if I click on this. No. Probably going to have to do it in YouTube Studio, you know. And then this clown, all his multiple views and comments and all the rest of it, fucking. And then big up to Beep Beep, the Russian person. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, so thanks to all those people for coming into my chat and putting those comments in. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, please don't forget to put a like on the video. Don't forget to share it around and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'd really appreciate that. And then also have a great rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and look after each other, share some love and kindness around the world, but not to that prick. But yeah, thanks very much, and I look forward to seeing you all again really soon. Take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, and Arteta out.